Now, I really believe that someone has snuck in to the WWE headquarters, the offices, wherever they do their business, their writing. Someone has snuck in and they have put some kind of gas, some kind of something, some kind of chemical that makes you lose brain cells, makes you experience memory loss. Because there is no way that sane individuals, a sane person, would book their shows like this. Because none of it makes any sense. They start something and they give up. Like The Rock, like Dwayne Johnson. There is no way a sane individual with a single brain cell in their head would book like this. Now, I am convinced someone has snuck into those offices. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to say names. But I've got a certain McMahon in mind. And I don't mean a Stephanie. And I don't mean a Shane. They've snuck into the office and put some kind of chemical in there. Because there is no way. There is no way. You turn Cena face on a random Smackdown. A random Smackdown for no reason. No justification. All those months of being a heel. They turned John Cena heel. Finally, after all of these years, we got to see John Cena as a heel. They messed it up massively, and then they just turned him back into a face on a random Smackdown just because he got put through a table and made to sign a contract. Now, fast forward 1 week. 1 week. He's calling Logan Paul a dumbass, even though he was literally tag team with him a few weeks ago. R-Truth is back to being babyface comedy R-Truth. Because that makes sense. R-Truth, biggest name, biggest talking point in the entire company, in the entire industry, the entire business of professional wrestling. Skip forward a couple of months, they've got him back to doing comedy already. Because they don't know what to do with anyone. People want someone. You make it clear, you make it loud, you vocalise that you want something. They give it to you, but not really. They'll give you R-Truth, right? They'll offer him a new contract, but they'll do absolutely nothing with him. You want Carmelo Hayes? Fine. We'll put him back with The Miz. We'll put him on a tag team match. We'll put him on main event. Not the main event, the show main event, which will make 5 people watch. You want Karrion Kross? Fine, we'll give him a PLE match, but we'll have him lose all of them. You want LA Knight? Fine, we'll put him in a main event, which he'll lose and get beat up after. This company, bro, this company is so infuriatingly bad. It doesn't make any sense. None of it makes sense. It's like they start something and then they wake up Triple H wakes up the next day. All of the writers wake up the next day and their memory gets erased. I don't know what's going on, but it's like their memory just disintegrates, disappears. Because they start something and then they just be like, nah, never mind, let's push that aside. Just forget we ever did it. Just forget we even started it. Brock Lesnar showed up at SummerSlam. Should we bother to explain why? Should we bother to go further with that? No. Let's just hope that people kind of forget about that. Let's do it for the big moment. Let's do it for the social media clicks and views. But let's not explain it and give context to it. Let's just have John Cena mention him once and then move on and forget it even happened. In fact, we'll have him go to something with Logan Paul, who he was just tag teaming with, and you can wait a bit longer for Brock Lesnar. Because Brock Lesnar can't be bothered to show up. So we've got to sit through a Logan Paul feud. It feels like John Cena's entire heel run has either been Cody Rhodes or Logan Paul. He's feuding with Logan Paul now after just tag teaming with him. In his promo last night, Cena goes, oh, I said this about you, but nah, you're a dumbass. So hang on, that wasn't months ago. That wasn't years ago. That was weeks ago. And now you're saying the complete opposite with no explanation, no justification, no reasoning. It's just kind of, oh, yeah, I just don't like you now because of my face. I don't like you now because I just kind of gave up on being a heel. I just gave up on it. Yeah, just kind of forget that happened. None of it has any substance. People like to say Triple H is long-term booking, right? He's a long-term storyteller. He gives up on stories after a week, after a couple of months. It's moved on. Forget it ever happened. Move on. It doesn't make any sense. Triple H cannot book short-term, long-term, any term. He cannot book anything. Smackdown. Let's just get to the show. There's my opening rant for you, because this show just annoyed me, because it's just like, we constantly get things that we think is going to lead to something good, and then they just kind of hope we forget about it. They ruin it. They go nowhere with it. Let's get to the show. Cena opens the show. I mean, is he the GOAT? Is he the GOAT? Because that promo last night, I was sitting there and I was thinking, you know what? I wish we had this Cena the entire time. I wish we had this face John Cena the entire time. But that doesn't mean turn him face randomly on a random Smackdown. At least give a bit of justification to it. But I'm glad we've got this John Cena and we can enjoy this John Cena for the last few months. The last 11 appearances, did he say? No, 10. The last 10 appearances we get him as a face. At least we have that. Because I remember 2009, I must have been 7, 8, going to WWE when shows were actually affordable. I remember going, I had my John Cena orange hat on, my orange t-shirt on, which was way too big for me. And I was a massive John Cena kid. And there's still, 2025, 15 plus years later, there are still John Cena kids. There are still so many kids and people in the crowd of all ages with John Cena tops on. You look at that crowd last night. How many people had that red John Cena t-shirt on? So many people. So he's done it through generations. He is incredible. So you think, oh, that's great, but it's also bittersweet, because when he is gone, we have no one that can make you feel the way John Cena made you feel in that promo. Who, when John Cena's gone, at the end of this year, when he's disappeared, he's gone, right? Who on this entire roster in WWE right now or coming up, whatever, who is making you feel what he made you feel last night? Who's giving you that energy, that passion, just a promo that good? There is no one. There is no one on that entire roster that is making you feel like that. So WWE are screwed. They are finished when John Cena goes, because they have no one that can make you feel something when they cut a promo. Like John Cena. And they're wasting his final year. Annoying. But he did cut a really good promo. Again, it is a bit weird that he's just turned face last week on Smackdown for no reason. But it is what it is. It was a really good promo. Just felt a bit weird with that in mind, but I did enjoy the promo. It was really good. Of course it was really good. It's John Cena as a face. Of course he's going to cut a really good promo. I mean, he mentioned Brock Lesnar. He said, oh, I'm never going to back down. I'm never going to back down from a fight. Never give up, all of that stuff. But there was no actual explanation. They're just, yeah. And then Logan Paul comes out. So you got Logan Paul come out, and then, I saw something before the show online that that it got leaked that the main event was going to be the tag team match that we did actually end up getting. So I knew this was going to, Logan Paul comes out, Drew McIntyre comes out in somewhere, and then Cody comes out. I knew that was going to happen. It was very obvious. Logan Paul comes out, and right there I'm thinking, right, this just sets up the tag team match. There we go. Fine. It's a main event. It's no harm, no foul. It's a Smackdown. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Cena, if you're going to give Cena a match on Smackdown in this final run, Montreal is the perfect place. And a one-on-one match, who is there really? I mean, after everything that happened, I would have taken Logan. A Logan Paul John Cena main event. I would have took that over having it clash in Paris. But rewind a little bit. I thought, you know what? No harm, no foul. Tag team match, main event. It is what it is. It's a random Smackdown. At least it's a big match to end the show, right? John Cena on a Smackdown. Whatever. But then Logan Paul says Clash in Paris. And right then I knew. He's not going to say that unless they're actually doing that. Right? They're not going to say that and then it's just a tag team match and then Logan Paul is just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's enough for me. I don't want the Clash in Paris match anymore. I'll settle for a tag team match. No, it doesn't make sense. So right then I knew. Okay. That is just... This John Cena heel run. He's just turned face. He's just turned face, right? And the first feud he's going into as a face is Logan Paul. Logan Paul. Drew McIntyre is right there in your lap. It's Paris. It's a big PLE. It's John Cena. It's Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's going into something with Cody Rhodes, which I like. I like the idea of Cody and Drew, but you can wait for that. We cannot wait for John Cena. He doesn't have long left. He has about 4 matches left, right? And we're giving one of them to Logan Paul. I don't care if John Cena asks for Logan Paul. You sit him down and you say, no, we're sorry, John. We're sorry, Jonathan Cena, but we can't give you Logan Paul because no one wants to see that. Drew McIntyre was right there. Drew McIntyre, John Cena, Clash in Paris. It's there. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre can wait. You can do that. You can have a multi-month feud between those two because that is something that I actually want to see. But right now, we're limited with John Cena. Would it not make more sense to put him in something with Drew now? No? Logan Paul instead. Whatever. So that's set up for Clash in Paris. John Cena, Logan Paul. No one cares. And obviously Drew McIntyre comes out. They start beating up Cena. And then Cody comes out for the save. Now, Cody has just won the title. He is the new champion. He's just beat John Cena for that title after losing it to him at WrestleMania. He's won it back from him at SummerSlam, right? Now, you would think that is a huge deal. Or at least it should be a huge deal. He's just won the title in the main event of SummerSlam. Winning it from John Cena. He's took his 70th title from him. Huge deal, right? You wouldn't think it. He said nothing last night. They had the new champion. What they are touting as the face of the company, right? John Cena passing the torch to Cody Rhodes. All of this. The new champion, right? They have him go out there to save John Cena and then have a tag team match in the main event. No promo. He's going into a feud with Drew McIntyre, but would it not have felt right for Cody to say some words after just winning the title again? It didn't feel like he just won the title. It did not feel like Cody Rhodes is the champion. It felt like John Cena is still the champion. Cody Rhodes went out there and just did not feel like a champion in the slightest. But that was set up for the main event. Then we go into Motor City versus the most boring faction we might have ever seen. The most nauseatingly depressing faction we might have ever seen in the history of this company, which is saying something. MFT. MFT gets so much screen time, so much TV time, and a grand total. I counted the people that care. I went through and I went to the effort of counting everyone that cares about this faction, and I came to the conclusion of a grand total of 0. No one cares about anyone in this faction. You can't have someone called a Tall Tonga and someone called a JC Mateo go out there in a random tag team match against Motor City Machine Gun and expect people to care about them just because they're with Solo. You can't put two people that no one care about anyway with a Solo Sikoa and then expect people to care. Because no one does. No one does. When their music hits, when I see them coming out, when I see them advertised, I dread it. I go to the toilet. I do whatever I need to do. I go on my phone. I get the pictures that I'm using for this video right now. I get the pictures that I use. I get during the MFT segments. Because I'm like, well, I don't care about anything involved in this. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get the video ready for tomorrow. Because I couldn't care less about anyone in this faction. The only person I care about remotely is Solo Sikoa. But you put these people around him, they drag him down. No one cares about someone called a Tall Tonga just because he's 8'7", and a JC Mateo just because he's... What? What is there to JC Mateo? What have they given us to care about JC Mateo? How are we supposed to give a flying fuck about a JC Mateo? You give him a stupid name, a stupid look, and you put him in stupid segments, stupid matches, and expect people to care about their segments. They have a tag team match with Motor City. Okay, brilliant, MFT win, great. And then Sami Zayn comes out. Now there's one more person that I couldn't care less about. Everyone in this ring at this time, Motor City, everyone in MFT, Sami Zayn, I couldn't care less about any of them. Sami Zayn, I like Sami Zayn, but this character, Sami Zayn in 2025, might just be more boring than MFT. Which is saying something. Sami Zayn, I can't put into words how boring he is. Not him, not Sami Zayn as the person, but this character. What is he? Oh, I'll take the moral high ground and I do this and what you do is wrong and I'm doing this. And they're going to try and play a long-term little story, which is, oh, he finally snaps, right? He finally snaps and he gets a title opportunity. Or maybe even the title. I couldn't care less. Genuinely, Sami Zayn's music hits. I don't care if it's in Montreal. I don't think even they cared about him that much. I couldn't care less about Sami Zayn in 2025. He is so boring. It sickens me. It's boring. And then you've got someone like Carmelo Hayes, Karrion Kross. People that people actually want to see. People that people actually want to invest in and care about and want to see on their TV. They're doing nothing. But yeah, let's roll out Sami Zayn with this same boring character. Then we get a Wyatt 6 vignette. They're champions, right? They're champions. The Wyatt 6 are champions. So would it not make sense to put a bit of effort into them? A bit of creativity into them? To make people invest in them and care about your tag team champions? They are those kind of mystical characters, right? There's so much you can do with them. Their debut proved that they can do it. Their debut proved that they can put effort in. They can do something creative with them. But they just choose not to because guess what? It requires effort. It requires a little bit of effort to go to that extra extent of doing something creative with them. So guess what? They're not going to. They're going to have them in a vignette every week. And that's your tag team champions. Then we get Alexa Bliss and Charlotte in a very... It just doesn't come across... I mean, I don't mind the tag team. The entire tag team is to get Charlotte over. Put her with Alexa, get Charlotte over. But it's grown on me a little bit. But it was hard last night to get through that segment. A bit awkward. It wasn't horrible. It was what it was. They're trying to do the Kane the Kane Daniel Bryan thing, right? Hug it out and all of that. Doesn't work anywhere near as well. Charlotte just doesn't suit being that kind of pandering face. But it is what it is. Chelsea Green comes out, sets up Chelsea Green Charlotte. Yeah, what more do you want from me? What more do you want me to say about Chelsea Green versus Charlotte? That's all you're getting from me. Then we get a Carmelo Hayes backstage segment. With The Miz. set up a tag team match next week. Now, this is clearly setting up them two splitting up, which is... they split up for a little bit. Now they're back together. Then they're going to split up again. I don't know what's going on. How about you put Carmelo Hayes into something interesting? I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna say, you know what? Hopefully they split them up next week, and that is the start of a Carmelo Hayes push. For some reason, this is a big mistake, but I'm gonna give Triple H the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna wait to see what they do with him. But I know deep down, Triple H goes out his way to give the fans the opposite of what they want. You want Carmelo Hayes? Fine. We'll give him you, so you think you're getting him. You think I'm giving you what you want. But then in reality, I'm not going to put him in anything meaningful. LA Knight, Karrion Kross, R-Truth. Same thing. You want someone gets over on their own without him pushing them. Your name's not Rhea Ripley. Your name's not Damian Priest. Nah, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get them. You might say you want him. You might chant for them. You're not getting them. Then we get the R-Truth segment backstage with John Cena. Straight back to the comedy. So let me go through this then. R-Truth, biggest name in the entire industry, right? Biggest talking point in the entire industry, right? Not the biggest name, but the biggest talking point, the biggest discussion. It comes back, they're bringing back Money in the Bank. What have they done since? He cut a decent promo, cut his hair, more serious, right? So you think, okay, I like this. Let's see where they go with this. Straight into something with John Cena, which goes nowhere. He loses, looks like an idiot again. He's booking which he had previously, just losing matches. Something with Aleister Black, which went nowhere, made him look like an idiot. And now straight back to the comedy. If you're going to do this with R-Truth, you should have just released him and let him go make money. Let him go have fun. Let him go do his own thing on the indies or wherever he wants to go. If this is what you have for him. Because he's just turned back into comedy. So what was the point in any of that? That's what I mean. They just give up on everything. So now what do we do with R-Truth? What do we do with him now? Comedy for a few more months and then you release him again? Is that what we're doing here? You're going to put him into a feud with... You're going to bring back No Way Jose? Is that what you're going to do? Like, it's stupid, man. Comedy R-Truth is back. And then we get the main event. Cody Rhodes, John Cena versus Logan and Drew. Which, as I said at the start of the video, I wouldn't have minded this as a main event. But the Logan Paul, John Cena image and thought was looming large in my head, knowing we were going into that feud. But this main event was to set up Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes for Clash in Paris, which I do not mind at all. As I said, I would have done John Cena and Drew and waited for Cody and Drew, but it is what it is. Cody, Drew kind of claymores him through the commentary table. Nice little spot, sets up that match, but this is just going to lose to Drew McIntyre, losing again. He's not winning that title. Cody's just won it. Drew McIntyre is not winning that title, so it's going to be another big match that Drew McIntyre is going to lose. Would it not have done more to put him into something with John Cena and have him beat John Cena? Huge moment, right? Maybe. But I don't know. It is what it is. Cody, Drew, I like it. Hopefully they do it right. It's new, it's fresh. I like it. Hopefully they do it right. Hopefully they have a decent match. Drew McIntyre is not winning. He's going to lose another big match. But that's what it is. The match itself ended in a low blow, DQ, because that's how most main events and the matches involving people that can't lose, that's how most of them end in 2025. DQ. Easiest way out, right? Easiest booking possible. Anyway, that was Smackdown. Just another bad show, which didn't even make sense, but at least we got a good John Cena promo. And that's about it, really. Yeah.